Hello. In the third episode of Hallmark's The Way Home, Alice and Kat wonder how much Colton knew about the pond's time travel abilities. In the 1974 timeline, the town of Port Haven mourns Rick Augustine's death and shows grief. Alice witnesses the aftermath of the catastrophe after a little swim in the pond, which diminishes her desire to travel back in time in the short term. Meanwhile, an old friend appears in the neighborhood, prompting Alice to reopen some old scars while also hinting at a prospective relationship on the way. Dell is struggling to cope with the new changes in the Landry household, as well as the rapid pace at which they are occurring. She isn't the only one struggling with family troubles. Elliot has reached his breaking point with his inattentive father. Vic spoilers are ahead. Port Haven mourns the loss of Rick Augustine. The episode begins with Alice and Colton meeting at the pond. At the end of the last episode, the latter emerged from the pond, potentially demonstrating his ability to go into the future. However, episode 3 clears up any uncertainty by clarifying that Alice and little Colton are still in 1974, just a few days after Rick Augustine's death. Colton claims that Rick's death left him so sad that he wanted to take a dive in the pond. However, it is unclear whether he is aware of the pond's time travel capabilities. Alice and Colton arrive in town and discuss Rick's awful death. Evelyn visits with them and shares their sadness. Colton is the most impacted, breaking down multiple times. Meanwhile, Vic Augustine, who is angry and hurt, blames Colton, claiming that he should have died in Rick's place. Alice learns from Evelyn in 1974 that she is madly in love with young Colton. However, she is disappointed that he regards her as little more than a friend. She informs Alice that he gave her a book as a gift, which she took as confirmation of his platonic feelings. Alice finds it difficult to encourage Evelyn, especially when she knows the future does not look well for Evelyn and Colton. After a quick visit with Evelyn and Colton at Coyle's Eats and Beats, she chooses to leave. She runs into young Dell outside the shop, who admires Colton as he sings a mournful song in tribute to his friend. Back home, Alice tells her mother the truth about Evelyn's feelings, feeling unable to end the little girl's unrequited love. She is also disturbed by young Victor's despondent expression in the aftermath of Rick's death. Kat and Dell as the family dynamics shift. In the present, Dell and Kat have a minor misunderstanding and fight during a dinner scene. Dell responds negatively to the news of Kat moving in with Elliot and encourages her daughter to reconsider her decision, especially since Alice is going through a lot as a teenager and needs her mother. Kat does not back down from her position, and the two butt heads while Elliot and Jacob converse outside. Kat subsequently goes to her daughter's bedroom, intending to assist her in dealing with the pain from Rick's funeral. Alice explains to Kat that Colton gave Evelyn the second book as a gift. She spills some wine on the front page, suspecting that it may contain a message similar to the first, and discovers the other half of the message. Alice and Kat read it, and the latter questions whether Colton and Evelyn were also time travelers across the pond. The Landry family and Elliot visit the farmer's market, where Alice is surprised to see Noah at his coffee truck. She catches up with him while Jacob tries to adjust to life away from the Landry farm. Dell mends her strained relationship with Rita, admitting that the sudden upheavals in the Landry household have left her feeling disoriented. Meanwhile, Kat resolves to seek answers by taking a plunge in the pond and emerging in 1974. She meets an elderly woman in the woods, who turns out to be Colton's grandmother, Fern. Fern sings a strange song to Kat. 65 thought they died, 65 still living. She leaves the Landry property and runs across young Colton and Evelyn in the woods, where they discuss Rick and the pond. However, just as Colton is ready to share something significant, Kat makes an awful noise, prompting him to pause and go hunt for his grandmother. Thank you for